Hi everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author and welcome back to my channel. I write young adult fiction across a variety of genres, and if you think that might interest you, then think about subscribing below. I also have a coffee shop with signed paperbacks and swag, which you can also find below. I've done a few of these videos of either writing or editing with chronic conditions. I'll link the last one up in the cards. And today I thought I'd focus on writing when you have mental health issues. I'm going for a broad spectrum here rather than individual, because I'm only talking about things from my own experience and I have a broad spectrum rather than just this and that. As usual, the same disclaimer, I will only talk about conditions that I have personally experienced. Chronic illnesses are not a monolith and everyone experiences symptoms and conditions differently. I can and will only talk about my own experiences. I am far from the only chronically ill and or disabled Authortuber or YouTuber in general, and if these things don't work for you, that's fine, and if they do, even more fine. So let's jump into it. Number 1, imposter syndrome is real. One of the things that I don't think a lot of people talk about or realise when you've got mental health problems and you're in some kind of creative field, the imposter syndrome feels like it's been expanded and exploded way more than it should. It comes down to the fact that for a lot of us, we've been told that we don't belong, or that we just need to work harder or focus only on the positive when it comes to living with a mental health condition, or even that we're wrong to feel what we feel. I've had depression and anxiety since I was a teen. I've always felt like I didn't have the right to claim I struggled, because mental illness was painted as something you just lived with and dealt with without help. It was really only getting older and being able to advocate for myself, or finding doctors who treated my other conditions doing it for me, that helped me realise that I belonged here. Now that might sound like it doesn't apply to writing, but it does, because in a creative pursuit there's always those who feel like you have to suffer for your art. And I don't mean that definition, because I take my meds. So I get a giant load of imposter syndrome that I'm not good at what I do because I medicate. Now I don't have the time or the inclination to go into whether medicine is right for you or anyone other than me, but if I want to keep writing, I need to medicate. How you deal with your health is none of my business, but if you're feeling like you're not suffering enough, don't listen to that, because it's complete and utter crap. You are very much valid as a writer, no matter your medication situation, and you do not need to suffer for your art. No one does. Number 2, bad days happen. There are always, with every kind of chronic illness, going to be days when you just can't. There are always going to be bad days and good days, and you can't really control when and if they happen. Like, I've been going through some bad days with physical health, so all I can do is manage, is be gentle with myself and take my time, which I'll talk about more in a moment. It's about deciding, for me, what bad days are going to mean. Now, you know that I have a myriad of physical conditions as well as mental health issues, so I will look at a bad day in different ways from someone who is solely dealing with mental health issues, but it does not mean that one is less valid than the other. Some bad days you have to step back and give yourself space, and others you can work through them. But just remember that this is normal. You're not doing something wrong. They happen no matter who you are or what your health is like. It's just part of it. Number 3, taking your time is okay. Taking your time is not something that gets talked about a lot on Authortube, but the pressure is to be constantly publishing or writing, and if you're not, then you're kind of seen as less valid. And I want to just say that's crap. Like, no offense to anyone who's saying it, but it's crap. Even with my health being physical and mental issues, I know that I might seem to be someone falling into that same trap. I'm not. I take my time, but I've also been doing this for almost 30 years. My health has always been up and down, and I learned how to keep my time precious and also how to balance things. It helps that I'm a fast writer anyway, but there is nothing wrong with needing more time or taking that time. At the end of the day, you have to do what works for you, and you have to take care of yourself as well. You will get to the end, even if it takes you a lot longer than you thought it would, and it will be worth it. And number 4, writing what you know is okay too. I've seen people talking about how there's too much mental or physical health being forced into fiction, and wow, where to start with that? As a disabled and chronically ill author, I've been trying to both write the stories as they come, but also have that rep that makes sense because the characters come that way, fully formed in my mind. So if you want to write a book about a character that's been down a similar journey to yours, or exactly like yours, do it. There can never be too much rep, despite what some people might think. Write what you know, share your story, and you do not need to make it inspirational. It can be raw, it can be real, and it is very much needed. So don't be afraid to write what you know. We need your stories too. So there we go, those are my tips about writing with mental health conditions. Like I said, I decided to cover it as a broad stroke rather than individually, because even though I've done some individually, I felt like some of them applied to it overall. As someone who's been dealing with mental health issues for the majority of my life, I feel like there is so much that applies to the mental health conditions individually and overall broad spectrum. You just gotta remember to look after you and find what works for you and stick to it. So do you have any tips when it comes to writing with mental health conditions? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment, like, or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media, and my books are available everywhere. You can also support me in my coffee shop, and you can also sign up for my newsletter. And don't forget to pick up Cramming Chronicles: The Fourth Torment, which is the fourth in a young adult urban fantasy series. And also don't forget to grab a ticket for Sugar Pages in Bristol in November, where I'll be signing books. All the links for which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye!